Welcome back to the Whiskey Explorer. I've got my co-captain here, Brad the Fish.
What's happening?
And I'm Jeff, here with the Whiskey Explorer.
I'm Brad, of course.
And we have had already quite the whiskey journey this evening.
We have. Absolutely.
So, start us off, Brad. Tell us where we journeyed to.
Jeff and I took an adventure to Royal Colwell Golf Course, which is here in Victoria. We stopped in there, and man, were we ever surprised with the selection of whiskey that we got to have.
Pretty damn good. I mean, I looked at the shelf, and I'm starting to pick out, ones that I want to try, and I spot the bottle that I've had my eye on for at least 6 months now. I've been trying to get it, trying to figure out some way of getting at least just a little sample, just a taste, just an ounce or an ounce and a half. That would even satisfy me. It was the J.P. Wiser's Union 52. Out of all the places, somehow the Royal Colwell Golf Course had that, and we were able to take advantage of that.
The final 3 ounces.
The final 3 ounces in the bottle. We got to taste it, and man, I'll tell you, I have never been a fan of Canadian whiskey, and I hate saying that as a patriotic Canadian, but that one turned the tide for me.
It was so delicious.
That one showed me what a Canadian whiskey could be.
Absolutely.
If you can find it out there, guys, go and do yourself a favor. Buy it. I wouldn't worry too much about the price. It's so scarce.
Well, I was thinking of price.
So,
and the other surprise was we were vastly undercharged at the golf course for it.
Yeah. So that was a nice surprise too. Without further ado, we are going to get to the review for tonight. And tonight we have a special one for you guys. I think it's special because I got it for Christmas from my lovely wife Alice, who's graced us with her presence on the show before. And today we have the gift of the Compass Box, the Spice Tree edition. So this is the Compass Box, as you guys know who are whiskey drinkers out there. This is an excellent Scotch blending company, and yeah, they do an awesome job. It's blended by their master distiller John Glazier, and he comes up with all of the different types of offerings from Compass Box, and this one is well renowned, well loved around the world. So I thought, for Christmas I'll give this one a spin. And yeah, Spice Tree. What to tell you guys about this one? Interesting story behind this one. This is the one that got the Compass Box Blending Company into some hot water with the Scotch Whisky Association. So the SWA, they interpret all the traditional laws of how Scotch and whiskey is made in Scotland, and they can put pressure on companies like Compass Box to remove their bottles from the shelf if they're not living up to the traditional standards of Scotch making in Scotland.
I didn't know that.
And this is exactly what happened. So in the casks they'd had, so the original bottling, I don't know when it came out, but the original bottling of the Spice Tree, when it first came out, what they had done is John Glazier had gone to all these different wineries and noticed that they were using this beautiful French oak wood, old oak wood, like 195-year-old growth trees, for the wooden staves, the slats that they put inside the barrel for aging. So he said, well, you know what, I want to do this in ex-bourbon barrels, but I want to put those beautiful fine oak staves on the inside of the barrel to bolster the barrel and give it that extra spice, which would give it this, from the virgin French oak, that would basically the barrel imparts some spice into the mix. So that was, people loved it. They sold out of the second bottling they did of the original Spice Tree. They completely sold out of before they even put a batch out.
Wow!
It was pre-sold, 100% pre-sold, completely to their importers. 5,000 bottles gone, sold out.
That's probably the dream.
Yeah, absolutely. For a Scotch blender, that's a phenomenal achievement. And their first one, they estimated they have it around for 5 months. It sold out in 5 weeks, the first run of this whiskey.
Huh?
So it was one of those things where they knew what they were doing, and hey, people know a good thing when they find it. They bought it up. And so they pulled that one off the shelves. They were like, okay, Scotch Whisky Association, they basically said, we will pull this off the shelves until we investigate the law further. We thought that we were fully within our rights and our interpretation of the law to make this whiskey the way we're making it, but clearly you don't like it, so we'll try some other type of method. So the new ones, what they do is they have an ex-bourbon cask, and then the lid of the barrel so that they call it the barrel head. That is completely constructed of virgin French oak, aged like old oak. So 195-year-old oak, and it's, according to John Glazier, the finest oak you can possibly find for this purpose.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Lot
that's a
to
lot.
take in.
A lot to take in. A lot of history, and that's what got the spice tree into hot water with Scotch Whisky Association.
To me, it sounds like they're risk takers.
Yeah,
I like them.
Absolutely. And you know, this is the thing, is if you are innovating and you are improving the intrinsic quality of the Scotch by having an innovative style of barreling, I say more power to you. And I like the experimentation. So I think you've got some stuffy people in the SWA, the Scotch Whisky Association, that had their noses bent out of shape by doing something non-traditional, but hey, if it imparts great whiskey flavor, man, I don't think you can fault that. So
yeah, I mean, that's all we want is to drink good whiskey, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and this one is, as Compass Box always is unchill filtered, uncolored, and bottled. This is nicely bottled at 46%. So for me, that checks every single box. At 46%, that's the level of alcohol by volume, or ABV, that you're going to get when you get more flavors, more pronounced flavors out of the Scotch whiskey. This one is not a blended whiskey with other grains, but only other malts. So this is what they used to call a vatted malt, but now they're calling a blended malt. So it's only single malts have been blended together for this. No grain whiskey in this, in terms of the composition of the whiskey. The other thing that I love about Compass Box is if you go to their website and you want to know exactly what was put into the barrel for this whiskey, they will tell you exactly in this really cool like infographic, and have listed all the type of whiskeys that went into the blend. So they are all about transparency. So they're not trying to hide anything. They're telling you, hey, you know, we've sourced our whiskeys from these sources. This is how we've barreled it. This is how we've chosen to finish the whiskey. And you got to applaud that kind of transparency as well.
Absolutely, you have to.
Because a lot of these blends, you have no idea, you know, where the whiskeys are coming from. You might have some idea or some rumor, but you don't know. And these guys, they just tell you straight up, you know, this is where it came from. So I like, this ticks all the boxes for me. Non-chill filtered, uncolored, 46%.
I think the label needs a little work, though.
Yeah, you don't like the label so much?
No, like, yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I think the bottling is sorry, but I think the label...
A little bit closer so you guys can have a look.
Yeah,
I guess
think
the light's
label
a bit
needs
bright
a
there,
work, but I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as the whiskey tastes good.
Yeah, I think for me, that's more important than the label. So, you want to get into this one?
Yes.
So we'll do a nosing and a tasting, and then we'll let you guys know what we think.
We had some Jura before this.
Yeah, we have to get our palates ready, and we've both done a palate cleanse of the water, so we're all ready to go for the next one here. So I'm just going to pour Brad a nice little dram of the spice tree. I like to do doubles. I always do doubles. 1 ounce is not really enough. You need about 1.5 ounces. I wish that a bar pour here in Canada was 1.5 ounces. Standard for Scotch.
Yeah, me too.
You know, because what we were just experienced that tonight, where they're like, "Oh, do you want 1 ounce or 2 ounces?" And we're like, "I guess 1. I really want 2, but 2 in a bar gets pretty pricey." So
It definitely can be for sure.
all right, well, let's give this a nose here. So my immediate thought on there is vanilla. Get lots of vanilla.
Now, Jeff, for this one, have you had it before?
I have.
You have, okay.
Yeah.
I have not.
Nope. Brad's first time.
And if it's got any vanilla in it, I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
On the nose, it smells fantastic.
Yeah.
It is very good on the nose, very sweet.
Very sweet. And it's interesting because when you taste it, you will taste a lot of spice.
Okay,
And
that's
appropriately
yeah,
named spice tree. But what I like, I don't get that on the nose. I don't get any spice
no,
really.
me neither. It's not. No.
Okay, I'm picking up a little bit now on the back end. Yeah, I get some spice there, some cinnamon, maybe some nutmeg.
Yeah.
Like cooking spices again. Always come back to that. Baking spices, allspice. You know, like nutmeg, cinnamon.
Yeah.
But vanilla is prominent, I think, on the nose. And the color there, I'll just bring the glass just a little bit closer to the camera there for you guys. Color there is looking like a medium, it's actually not a medium, a light copper. And again, this has no E150 added. So I love to see that. I hate to have a whiskey with coloring in it.
It's got a beautiful color to it.
It's a gorgeous color to it. I look at that all day. And here's the thing. Why do I want to have a whiskey that's being dumbed down for the mass market to look a certain way? I mean, I know they do it so that, you know, bottle by bottle they look all consistent, but that matters so little to me. I'd rather have the whiskey unadulterated, and that means no chill filtration, no color. So the chill filtration, that's going to kill a lot of the proteins and enzymes and other characteristics in the whiskey. The chill filtration does that. Here we're getting the unadulterated version. This is, as the master distiller says, this is how, you know, this is where I think for the alcohol volume, this is where it should be. So I was telling Brad, and I've said in other videos, I always look for 46%. That's my sweet spot. I won't buy any whiskeys, generally speaking, that are below 43%. And I always try to shoot for 46.
Well,
let's get into a taste. Sláinte.
That is very good.
It's excellent. Tons of spice. Like, wow.
Jira's got some competition in my book.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so previous to this, we were trying to find Brad's wheelhouse and talking about the whiskeys, and he had Jira Superstition at the top there. We tried the Balvenie Doublewood tonight. That was a close second, I think, and this one I knew he would like this because it's just, this whiskey's fantastic. I mean, I don't think you're going to buy this bottle and be disappointed at all.
No.
Price point wise, you're looking at about $75 Canadian. So I think it's good value for the money as well. It is a non-age statement, but that doesn't bother me when the whiskey tastes this good. You get I get up front all of those spices. So nutmeg, cinnamon. I get like a pepper, like quite a bit of pepper in the start of the palate there. But then the finish is all sweet, smooth vanilla.
Just real good finish.
Vanilla and butterscotch. I get that as well, so.
You just want to have a sip and then more. This is the exact reason why our pour has got to be more than an ounce.
I think so, and this is the thing, I think so too. Because I think that the longer that you spend with the whiskey, the more you find in it and the more you enjoy it.
Yes.
That's why I just don't, an ounce pour is just too little. I mean, I've already drank close to an ounce, so that's what an ounce pour is. You barely get to taste it before you're finished it.
Yeah.
And then you're left wanting more. And I guess for a bar, that's a very good thing.
Yeah.
But for us, that's why it's nice to sit in the comfort of your own home and enjoy a nice big double dram and really get to enjoy the whiskey.
Yeah.
Did you get any fruit on your palate at all, like on the taste? If anything, I get a bit of apple. Like a sweet apple, like a Royal Gala apple. I do get that.
I thought I might have got like a little hint of orange, but I mean, that could just be me. I
Like, would you even say like apple pie, maybe?
Yeah.
The finish is apple pie.
Yeah, it's definitely sweet enough to be that for sure.
Because I find like with those flavors, with like apple, cinnamon, nutmeg, even like a little bit of the bready pie pastry, I get that on the finish.
That's one thing I'm definitely working on. Definitely is to really pick out
Notes.
specific flavors and certain notes and stuff.
Which is challenging.
It definitely is, because I mean, you'll sit and pick out things that I have no idea what they may or may not be. So,
honey as well. Like on the nose now, if you smell it again, definitely get some nice deep.
It improves once it's in.
I think it does.
It gets better.
I think the longer you have this kind of sitting and enjoying it, going through it, the more you get out of it, and the more it improves. So in my book, this is a buy.
Absolutely. Definitely buy this.
This is a no-brainer.
Yeah, definitely.
It's juicy. The finish is long. It's not a really particularly viscous whiskey in terms of like the depth. Like, it doesn't have that mouth coat. That's not there. It's a medium mouth coat at best, but the finish seems to go on forever.
I find it's a very level playing field. I mean, it's it just hits all the notes if you're somebody that likes it a little bit sweeter, but still like it a little bit stronger. Like, I think you get all those pieces to it.
I think that high ABV, like the 46% ABV, really helps this whiskey a lot.
Anything less than that, I think you would definitely have a taste difference. I think if it was 43 or below, I think it would be very different.
Yeah.
But now that I have this, I mean, this is this is the reason why that we do this. We try different whiskeys to find
what we like
one to find to another one. I've now found one that I like way more than any other ones right now.
There you go.
And this is it. This is absolutely
the spice tree. Absolutely. So
I'm buying it tomorrow.
There you go.
So.
And I tried this one Christmas morning Christmas afternoon, I guess it was, with my family. And
it was Christmas morning.
It was Christmas morning, let's be honest. And, it was just excellent. Right away, I knew this was a winner. My brother, same thing. My dad loved it as well. So at that point, I was like, you know what? This one's, like, this is renowned for a reason. People love this whiskey because it's that good. And it just makes me want to explore more of what's in the Compass Box offerings. This is my only Compass Box that I've tried. So I'm excited to get out there and explore.
Definitely opens the door to having more Compass Box.
Totally.
Their story is really interesting, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Makes you kind of want to, it's so, I don't know, it seems so bad to buy their whiskey or something, so you just got to buy it.
Exactly. Yeah. See what they're up to. All right. All right, well, this one's a buy for us.
This is a buy.
All right, guys. Well, Sláinte. Till next time.
Take care, guys.